Yeah. Militant-minded general, 9 gripped, equipped with blades and a pen that can sharpen your spine's tip. Level-headed, though my mind flips from side to side with an acrobat's experience. After I stick it, I'm luring down a demon-possessed Ahiye. Seems Jay's the best for the job with no code.
What's the word, y'all? It's KTR _podcast, Know the Ropes podcast. You are now live and direct with your boys, Cinco, Big Harv, and J-Bo himself for episode 23. We're on our Jordan today. MJ episode. It's a perfect time for it because it's WrestleMania season.
WrestleMania season.
We are here. We are live. We are direct. And how are y'all doing today, my brothers? How y'all feeling?
I'm feeling terrific today, homeboy. What about you, Big Harv?
Big Harv, how you feel?
How you feeling?
I'm alive, ladies and gentlemen. My new name is Big Harv the Unstoppable. All right, I walked away.
Even a car couldn't take you out. That's amazing.
Whole car. Yeah, let's go. I'm alive.
Well, it's a blessing that it's a blessing that you are here with us doing this episode 23. And before we get started with episode 23, be sure to do this one simple thing. Follow us on all social media platforms, KTR _podcast, Twitter, Instagram, Know the Ropes Podcast, Facebook, and YouTube. Know the Ropes Podcast on all podcast platforms. Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Podbean. We are on everything. That just flow like water because I never forget that now. I'm not pressed no more.
Dude,
at the beginning, I'll be like, man, what am I say? Now I can just fall in, just say what I want to say. But now, speaking of which, it is WrestleMania season. WrestleMania is around the corner. Yeah. The biggest event of the WWE. Mm-hmm. And it is crazy because last WrestleMania, first WrestleMania ever with no fans, no crowd,
nothing,
no venue.
For those who's used to the monitor screens, there was no monitor screens.
There was no virtual fans at all.
Nothing.
It was dead silence.
Echo.
In the performance center.
You could hear that mic under them.
Yeah. And that was exactly. You hear everything. That was amazing. Like I really forgot about like how dead it was. I went to look back at it on Dirty Network. No Peacock. That how dead that moment was. And I was like, man, if you didn't like wrestling, this was not for you.
Yeah.
Because the pandemic took a lot.
Yeah.
It took the heart and soul out of live wrestling because it was dead. Man, but now
it was hard.
A year later, 2021,
2 nights.
Vince McMahon said, damn it, I'm getting myself a crowd. I'm getting myself a venue. I'm getting myself some fans. We gonna do it. We gonna get some people. We gonna get this money.
45,000 a night.
Right. 2 nights, Saturday, Sunday, April 10th, April 11th at the Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay, Florida.
Yeah, I think they're going to announce that they have broken the record for the largest sports gathering.
During the pandemic?
During
COVID. Of course. It's going to be on there. It's going to be on there. But before we get to that WrestleMania season, though, we got to talk about the pregame.
Yeah.
Oof. WrestleMania pregame on Friday night. This upcoming Friday.
Yeah.
April 9th. Smackdown. That's going to be the pre-show for WrestleMania because they're not doing the pre-show for the weekend for some odd reason. Yeah. And for the pre-show, we're just going to dive right in the match because this is the prediction episode. Mm-hmm. First off, we're going to start off with the Smackdown Tag Team title match, which I feel is kind of disrespectful.
Yeah.
That this is
absolutely
on the pre-show. But at the same time, it's not their fault because the tag teams weren't developed. Because I mean, last time we were here, Big Harv said the development of the tag team division was poor.
Yeah.
Piss poor. Exactly. He said like that. Yeah. And so for this match, you got the champions of Roode and Ziggler.
Dirty Dogs.
You got the challengers of the Street Profits. Mm-hmm. You got Chad Gable and my guy, Otis. Mm-hmm. Then you got the Mysterios.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this right now before we get this guest in. I'm going to be sick.
Booyaka!
And pissed. If Rey Mysterio and his son win this match, I'm already saying this now. But for y'all prediction, who y'all think gonna win this match? I'm going with Street Profits. It makes sense. It they have to take it back. You know, they got to get the tag team momentum going again for the division. I feel like it's only formidable that they win. What y'all think?
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of Street Profits winning. Ironically, I actually do see Dirty Dogs defending this Sunday because out of all the teams, I mean, Otis and Chad, they've been doing great together, despite how any of us feel about the Mysterios. You know how they like to go for the emotional feel of the son and the father, you know, coming together.
I ain't got a problem with Rey Mysterio. He the GOAT. He a legend.
Yeah. We all know about how Cinco feels about Dominic. All right.
Trash. I'm just gonna say it.
And I think Street Profits are probably the most profitable out of the entire 4 teams that's going to be in there. But just because I don't think anyone's really pulling for Dirty Dogs, I actually see them surprising and defending this Friday.
Big Horror.
I'm going with the Mysterios, man. For every reason that you stated, actually. For every reason. And also that I think that they will compete with Street Profits as far as profits when it comes to merch.
Compete with who?
The Mysterios.
In what? In a match?
In merch.
Oh,
in merch.
Okay.
In merch.
Okay. That was the M word you said.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I ain't hear it.
Okay, anyway.
I got the headphones in. I'm good.
Anyway. Yeah, I'm going with the Mysterios because I do believe that it'll be a feel-good moment. And I believe that it's something, they need to do something with Rey Mysterio. He makes a decent paycheck.
That's true.
For as little as he does, really. So I feel
Since
like
he came back.
He needs something more. It wasn't, but it wasn't though. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Mysterios. I feel like that's the best move. Actually, I prefer the Street Profits.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with the Mysterios.
Man, if I was Street Profits, if I was anybody in that tag team match, I'll feel disrespected. As long as Chad Gable gets pinned by any Mysterios, then I feel like the match will be fine. Moving on, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. That's a toss-up, honestly.
Pointless.
You know.
It's pointless.
Never.
People gotta get their challenge shine. People gotta get their paycheck. So you know,
I get that.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I get.
So we're just gonna say, just gonna pick 2 people for that match. You know, since it's just wide open.
It's hard for me to even pick any because no single. You're right. Yes, the rest of the day you got to get their paycheck. I get that, but there's no meaning towards it at the end of the day. So it's hard for me to say, oh yes, I believe this person's going to win because at the end of the day it results to absolutely zero.
True.
Obviously I'm going for Ricochet for one of the options. That's no question. I really don't know. Is Ali in the Memorial Battle Royal? All right, then I'll go with Ali. I really don't care, but those 2. So I'm going with.
I like Ali. Is No Way Jose still around?
No. He's been let go.
He's on the independent circuit underneath a completely different name.
He got let go in the first round of cuts last year during the pandemic.
I was just run over, ladies and gentlemen, cutting some slack.
You got run, not last year.
Memory loss. It happens.
Dude.
Kane.
He's not in the.
Yes, he is.
He is?
Yeah, he's in there.
No, he's not.
He's not.
Yes, he is.
Where you? No, it's not a shush moment. He's not in the match. He's in the Hall of Fame.
I am uninterested. How about that? I'm not interested.
Let's just take his Kane and just go with it. It's freaking WrestleMania.
Yeah, so anything can happen. That's what I'm saying.
He's not going to get the points for it, so we're not worried about it. All right, then.
Nobody's going to get the points for it because
if it gets right, then
1 out of how many people?
20. That's why this match is always double when we do bets for this match.
Yeah,
exactly. But fine, you want to pick Kane?
Kane. Yeah.
I said Ali as well.
Nope.
I said Ali first. I did.
You realized what the bet was.
Right.
Yeah, I forgot we was betting.
We always bet on WrestleMania.
Yeah, come back to me.
Yeah, no, it's too late. We already moving on.
Come back to me.
My picks. I'm gonna go with shoot. This is kind of difficult. I'm trying to think right in the match. I'm gonna go with main event Jay.
Main event Jay.
Uso.
Oh, Jay Uso.
Main event
I
Jay.
didn't know he was in the match.
He is.
Yeah. Okay.
Main event Jay, or I'm just gonna do a dark horse right here. Humberto Carrillo.
Wow. That's a dark horse.
This is real dark.
Yeah.
Real dark.
Like no. Okay, fine. Let's take it.
He in the match, yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
Who else in the match?
It's like 20 other people.
I don't know. Like, that's how little I care.
That's what I'm saying. So, how can you fault me for throwing a toss up like Kane?
You said
he coming back. Yeah, I mean he been out here doing government stuff.
He's a
you know
mayor.
what I'm saying? Exactly. So
why we be in the match?
Why not?
He's in the Hall of Fame. He's not gonna come to the anyway.
So
You know
it's WrestleMania on Saturday.
We're done. Yeah, thank you. Moving on.
Anything can happen, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. Pregame. Moving on. WrestleMania day 1, Saturday.
Yeah.
We're gonna start with the first match.
Black
the
Knight.
Raw Tag Team Titles.
Yeah.
The New Day versus AJ Styles and Omos. Shout out to Xavier Woods for that motion graphic. I know he was waiting for that a long time.
The classic Shawn Michaels. Oh man, that was nice. That was nice.
But for this match, who y'all got? I'm going with the New Day retaining.
I'm gonna go with Styles and Omos. Yeah.
Before I say my pick, I do want to give a shout out to Omos on Raw. His 2-3 lines that he had, he actually sounded good on the mic. So I actually had to give him a little credit for that. I had to think about this probability wise. I do not see Xavier pinning any one of the two. I do see Kofi pinning AJ, but that's about it. I see AJ pinning both. I see Omos pinning both. So I'm going with AJ and Omos for this one.
Cool. All right.
Excellent deduction.
2 for y'all, 1 for me. Perfect. Next match. It's a good one. Probably one of my favorite ones. Bad Bunny versus The Miz. Now, before I make this decision, you know, I feel like it's going to be real, I'm not going to say disrespectful, but uncredible for The Miz.
I agree.
If he loses to Bad Bunny.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, as it's looking, you know, the celebrity, like 9 times out of 10, wins their match.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Especially if it's WrestleMania.
Exactly. Especially if it's WrestleMania. We seen Snooki win.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
We seen Floyd Mayweather win.
We seen Floyd Mayweather knock out Big Show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he clocked him for real, though. So.
He did, right? Now we got Bad Bunny. Now, see, this it's different because The Miz, 2-time, what's the thing called again?
What's that thing called?
What's the thing called again?
WWE Championship.
No, because he got all like he got it twice.
Oh, Grand Slam.
Grand Slam, 2-time Grand Slam champion.
Yeah. Okay, Grand Slam. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
multiple time tag team champion, multiple time Intercontinental United States champion, 2-time WWE champion, losing to Bad Bunny. Do you know?
Man, you just put that into a different context.
How bad it's gonna look on your resume? You know how bad it's gonna look for like the WWE, but it makes sense for the Miz's character if he does lose, because you see the Miz lose matches like this, but at the same time you see Miz win.
Yeah.
No prominent matches. So it's like it's a toss up, but obviously I'm gonna go with Bad Bunny because
probability wise,
celebrities always win.
Yeah.
Hard.
It's gonna be gimmicky as hell. All right. I see Priest coming, Morrison, of course, Bow Wow and Soulja Boy.
Okay, now it's going too far now.
Everybody's it's gonna be a lot of interference. It's a joke. Calm down, Cinco.
I'm not laughing.
It's a joke.
Now I'm laughing.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be gimmicky as hell, and Bad Bunny's gonna win because of that. That's how it goes. It's the formula.
Yeah. Vince has invested too much money into Bad Bunny for him to lose at the grandest stage of them all. I do see Damian Priest getting his shine on, probably giving like a lariat kick or something to John Morrison, which will probably get some pop. So at the end of the day, Bad Bunny. I would like to see The Miz surprise everyone, you know, maybe have another little girl on the screen moment, you know, but that's probably not going to happen. So, yeah, Bad Bunny.
Cool. Moving on. Next match, Seth Rollins versus Cesaro. I feel like this is probably
Seth Drip Rollins.
Seth Drip Rollins. Friday Night Drip. The Drip go. Messiah. Embrace the drip. Dripping everywhere. No. For this one, this is probably going to be probably the best working match out of all of WrestleMania between these two, I feel like. Yeah. Cesaro is an amazing athlete, amazing wrestler in the rings. Seth Rollins is
too.
Great. That's all you can say.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And for this match, I'm going to say Seth Rollins is going to win. Because I feel like this feud's not going to be over after this WrestleMania. I feel like Seth Rollins is going to get that little cheap win out the way. You know, something having like head hit the turnbuckle or something like that. You know, then you get like the stomp in. Just something that just goes into him getting his finishing move off in like a little cheap way. Yeah. And I feel like they're going to wrestle again later on, probably maybe like at whatever pay-per-views after or like a SummerSlam. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like they're going to continue to work Cesaro up. It's just not right now. So I'm going with Seth Rollins.
Actually, I'll take that same theory and look at it from a different angle. I see Cesaro winning at WrestleMania, Seth Rollins upset because Cesaro did not embrace the vision, and then it gets into a more heated, deeper feud later on, which will continue to build Cesaro. Seth will eventually get another win off of Cesaro. I see that, but I think at WrestleMania, Cesaro's winning.
Absolutely. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I think the initial win goes to Cesaro, and it grows from there. Because right now it was more of a respectful segment when Seth was out there with the drip.
Yeah, there you go with the drip. You got it
with the drip, and I liked it though because I like what it can do possibly for Cesaro. It really could do something for him. Probably not. We know how that goes, stop and go, but it keeps that hope alive. So I think that Cesaro gets the first win, then it explodes into something more.
Yeah,
cool. Match number 4. Braun. Braun Strowman against Shane O'Mac in a steel cage match. Braun Strowman. That's it.
Yeah.
You putting the monster in the match with Shane McMahon, nowhere to go, nowhere to run, obviously, unless something stupid happens. But Braun Strowman for the win. What y'all think?
Yeah, hard.
If it's an actual steel cage and nobody gets in and interferes, Braun Strowman. I think the bigger question is what stupid stunt Shane is finna do that night.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That's a bigger question.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, this isn't even going to be a wrestling match per se. More just a David and Goliath mauling. I don't.
David won.
Yeah, right, and that was going to lead to my point. It's a steel cage match, and according to the rules, you don't necessarily have to pin your opponent. You just got to escape the cage. So, I can see Shane potentially coming out and doing something crazy, but. Just to be straightforward, I do see Braun coming out. It would be so stupid if he loses. Braun is already in a deep hole where he at in his career right now, so he don't need a loss.
Braun Strowman is going to choke slam Shane McMahon off the top of the steel cage onto the announce table, and Shane McMahon going to win probably that way.
Oh, yeah. That's not even too far-fetched, honestly. Yeah.
But I'm still going to go Braun Strowman. Match number 5, Lashley versus McIntyre. For the WWE title. Disappointed that they broke up the Hurt Business way too soon, way too early for no exact reason at all. I'm hurt for the Hurt Business. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
But we're going to say it for another time, another episode, another day.
We can't talk about it now.
Nah, son.
You want to talk about it now?
We got to talk about that mess now, man.
I got a bone to pick.
Speak your mind.
It just wasn't smart. For what reason? For what reason?
Now you don't have Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander just floating around.
And catering.
Doing nothing.
Doing
nothing. But I had a feeling when they lost the titles that that's what was going to happen.
Still,
I had a feeling, but it was stupid. They still could have backed them up. Only could.
The Hurt Business are probably one of the most entertaining pieces on Raw for the past year. And then you have nearly the perfect faction of a powerhouse, a technical wrestler, a high flyer, and a mouthpiece. I mean, everything that you would want in a faction. And then you break them up not only so quickly, but right before WrestleMania, and then throw Baron Corbin in there just to get some heat in there. Because that's all they really wanted with Corbin, was to get some heat on Lashley. That's it. Right. And then at the end of the day, we all know because of all this breakup, it's going to be negative for Lashley at WrestleMania. It's just frustrating where you have something good, but we can't have nothing good like that in the WWE for a while. So let's just be real. But yeah, at the end of the day, Lashley, unfortunately, he's going to get kicked, and Drew is going to win the belt for the third time.
And that's what's going to happen because they're just breaking everything down, breaking everything up. So I'm going with McIntyre for this win as well.
Yeah, what you think?
Job.
Mm-hmm. He was waiting for that moment.
I was waiting to call him that one day. Big Hall.
I can call you that. I said McIntyre for the win.
All right. I didn't hear what you said, so I guess he gave you a new nickname.
Big Hall. Right?
Clothesline you out that chair. With my broken wing bone. Yeah, that happens.
It's a drumstick. Okay.
I got, McIntyre.
Yeah.
Stupid. Really bad. They still had so much they could have done.
The Lashley MVP combination with the title, with Cedric and Shelton, just having them as a technical, high-flying, terrific talent tag team, just sitting there in the ring. Like, come on, man. Whatever. Sorry, I'm venting.
It's all right. I understand. Feel your pain. It was bad. It didn't make sense.
Man.
But for the final match for Saturday night, the match everybody's been looking for, waiting for, probably is going to be the main event of Saturday. I think it is main event for Saturday. I think that was announced.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks.
Yeah, buddy.
Versus Bianca Belair.
Yeah, buddy.
The boss versus the best. The EST of the WWE.
Yeah.
The Blueprints. The Smackdown Women's Championship.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who win. See, as everything's building up, it makes sense for Bianca. And last time I bet against Bianca, she won. And I've done it a couple times and she's won.
That's
so
right.
It's like, this time, Sasha Banks for the win. I'm gonna bet against her again. No disrespect to Bianca. I love her. She's beautiful. She's a great in-ring talent. Great mouthpiece. This is a great building up of her.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the best builds of 2020 going to 2020 going to 2021 of any wrestler. Second place Otis. But yeah, so but like this is it's just grand. It's just pure. From what she was, then got introduced with last WrestleMania to where she is at now. It's perfect.
Yeah.
But she's not gonna win. Sasha Banks, the Blueprint, retains. J-Ball.
Now you know who I'm pulling for on this one. I caught this whole setup when Bianca was drafted to SmackDown, man. Her eventually going against Sasha Banks for the women's title at WrestleMania. I have been one of the biggest Bianca Belair fans since she made her shine in NXT. She came over to SmackDown, when she showed face on a few occasions on Raw. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Bianca Belair is she did not only win the Royal Rumble, but she's taking the belt from Sasha Banks. She is the EST, and she's going to prove that this Saturday. Easy.
Big Harv.
Sasha Banks.
Boom! Look at that. Look at that,
man.
Yeah, I'm actually go with Sasha Banks.
Wow.
There's something in my gut. There's something in my gut telling me that they're not gonna give it to Bianca yet.
Some of your gut or it's the drugs you taking for your.
It might be the Percocet. Might be Percocet. No, I am very clear. No, I'm not. But I'm gonna go sometimes Sasha. That's all in Sasha.
Yeah, that's why I see Sasha too. Now we're moving on to Sunday, the last night of WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
We're gonna start with the Raw Women's Championship match. Asuka versus Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for the silence. It's just the awkward like throwing and build up for this match.
It was
extremely tossed out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Asuka because I feel like one is kind of I don't know. Well, that's the word I look for. Disrespectful. You get Rhea Ripley the title already. She just been on Raw for like a couple of weeks and she's just stepped in front of the whole line of everybody to get this championship match.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like they look at Rhea Ripley as like a Charlotte, you know.
They have been for a long time.
Charlotte
Paige
clone.
Hybrid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So she might win. I'm going to go Asuka though, you know, just for this win, just to see what happens. I really don't know the direction they're going with this Raw Women's title because it's just been on the shelf for like months, and I have no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, what you think, J-Bo?
It's that last point you just made. There's no direction for the Raw Women's title. So even if Asuka goes into it this Sunday and she loses it, in a sense, it will still make sense because there is no sense in the women's division for the Raw Women's title. So I actually do see Rhea winning. I do think that Asuka's held the belt for a long time. I think they're going to start fading her out again. And now this is a perfect opportunity to build another superstar for the next season, I guess you can say, of wrestling post-WrestleMania. So, yeah, I do see Rhea winning this Sunday.
Harv.
I think Asuka deserves it more. But Rhea's gonna win because basically what you said about her being new. Like they've done this, it's not outside the norm for WWE to do that. somebody undeserving, especially with the women to come in. I remember Gail Kim won her first match.
True.
Yeah.
It's been a few.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's been a few. So, yeah, it's normal for them to do it. Paige, as you said, Paige.
Yeah.
Paige came in first night, took the title.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Cool. Second match got for Sunday. United States title. Riddle versus Sheamus.
I forgot about that match.
I
I forgot about that.
Riddle has been hilarious for the past weeks lately. I ain't gonna
He's
lie.
a great comedic relief.
Right.
He is a great.
For this match, I'm gonna go with Sheamus. I feel like they probably think, okay, it's time for him like get some type of opportunity and title. No, he's been in the fold for a good minute. You know, they had him with the Raw Tag Team titles for a while with Cesaro with the bar and everything. And after that, it's okay, let's put Sheamus in the mix because now that they probably think, okay, we need like a heel holding the title for a minute. And I feel like he's probably the next one up for that. So I'm going with Sheamus.
Yeah.
Big hard.
I'm going to go with Sheamus too, but mainly because I really don't know if Riddle's really hitting like he should be. Like, at least for me, I liked him better on the indies when he didn't really have this bro gimmick. Like, I don't really care for it. I mean, he's funny.
Yeah,
he does stuff. He's
funny.
hilarious. He cracks me up. But the gimmick as a whole is annoying more than it is funny.
Fish? You want shellfish? I see some shellfish. Here's the seafish. That be cracking me up. I'm not gonna lie.
But like his cadence when he talks is just he runs everything together. There's no spacing, so it always sounds weird. And that kind of adds to the comedy, but I don't think he's doing that on purpose.
No.
He sounds ridiculous sometimes, but I like him as a wrestler.
Yeah.
But I feel like Sheamus should take his head off and take the title.
J-Ball.
I think WrestleMania is going to have a lot of feel-good moments, and I think that with Sheamus and a Riddle, this will be like the one not-so-feel-good moment. So I do see Sheamus, when they got to balance it out somewhere, right. and I feel that this will be one of those opportunities. So, and Sheamus, I think he's been doing great since he came back.
Yes,
so I can definitely see them put the U.S. strap on him and keep running well with it. So
Sheamus always been consistent like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to the other mid-card title. Intercontinental title. Big E versus Apollo Crews.
Man. This one was hard for me.
That's going to be a tough one. And also SmackDown, Apollo Crews challenged him to like a special, I think, Nigerian type match, whatever it is. He said on SmackDown, Big Harv should...
I missed that.
He probably don't remember right now, but he watched it. I watched it too. I remember glancing like he challenged him to like some type of match. I can't remember off the top of my head, but since he's the one that made the stipulation for it, I'm gonna go with Apollo Crews. He gonna show him the steel, get the title finally. He gonna have his little reign, but Big E gonna get it back in like a couple months. So yeah.
Harv, what you think?
It's a toss-up.
Yeah.
It really is. 'Cause I like they started with this whole little pandemic era with Apollo Crews with a title and giving him a little shine, and now again, a year later, he's right back in a similar position. So that's really what makes me think he's going to win the title. Also having choice of stipulation. Yeah. But I just like that he actually got an opportunity this year and that they're continuing to give him opportunities. I feel like they should let him capitalize. I prefer, of course, Big E. Big E's my guy always. But I wouldn't be mad if Apollo won.
So who you picking?
Apollo.
Okay.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with Apollo too. I don't personally, this is just a personal opinion. I don't know how I feel yet about, his heel character. I like the gimmick. I just don't know how I feel about him as a heel. I know on the indies as You Are Nation, he played heel numerous times, but I don't know. To me, he just feels more natural as a face, in my opinion. I do see, however, how it's building and how it's going. Apollo winning. Big E actually don't need the belt because he's still entertaining. He's doing well on the shows. He'll sell merchandise. So, yeah, I see you. I keep calling him You Are Nation. Apollo. I see Apollo winning and then Big E still getting something back later on.
Okay, cool. So since we're on the topic of entertainment right now, let's go into another match with Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens.
I'm actually okay with it. Like, I get bored a lot when they do
repeated matches.
But the dynamics always switch between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn before each encounter that they have.
Yep.
So I'm excited for it. Because
Yeah.
they're gonna beat the hell out of each other. Sami Zayn is a revelation right now to me. When he first came back, he was annoying. I like what he's doing now though. He's hilarious. And Kevin Owens is consistent. Yes, it's hilarious, man. Every time. And Kevin Owens has always been consistent as a face or a heel.
Yeah.
And they, like I said, their matches are always great. So I'm excited for it. I'm hoping Zayn wins.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for Zayn.
Yeah. Zayn makes the most sense winning, just because of how much they're investing into him in comparison to Owens right now. Right. So yeah, Zayn makes the most sense. I'm going with Zayn.
Kevin Owens for me. I'm going with Kevin Owens.
Why is that?
I just don't see him losing Sami Zayn for some odd reason. I just feel like the conspiracy theories is going to keep going. I feel like Logan Paul being there is going to interfere and is going to go against Sami Zayn and help out Owens in a sense.
So you think Logan going to play more of a heel, like celebrity character in this whole thing?
Yeah, it's going to be helping out more of Kevin Owens than it's going to be helping out Sami Zayn.
Oh, okay. I never.
That's why I say interfering, like, he gonna be like, Sami's gonna like, what are you doing? And just like, Logan Paul's gonna hit him and bam, and 1, 2, 3 pin.
Okay.
Cool.
That works.
Next match. The Universal Championship match, triple threat match, Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan versus Edge.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns retains. That's what I'm going with.
Agree.
Wow.
I feel like this is what's going to solidify him as that dominant heel champion.
The head of the table.
The head of the table.
The tribal chief.
It's just not the time for it to take it off of.
It's not. No,
it's not.
No.
I love the build. I love the parallel storylines, or not really storylines, but career paths. Even though they, spaced out a little different. But Roman had the cancer and then came back dominant.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan was never supposed to wrestle again. Came back, did his thing. Edge never supposed to wrestle again. Came back doing his thing.
Yeah.
And all three of them going for the same title. Yeah. Main event WrestleMania. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
But Roman Reigns got to take it.
Yeah. I just see him beating them two big names. It makes sense. Unfortunately, with the whole build-up with Edge, I just don't see him win the title at all. It doesn't make sense for him to be a champion right now. Yep. Daniel Bryan, it's like lately he's been showing like sparks of his dominance where, okay, at this point it's too much sparks for him to even showcase that at WrestleMania for him to win the title because he's been dominant. He made Roman Reigns tap out last pay-per-view. He just put Roman Reigns in another LaBelle lock on the ramp. He took out Edge at the same time. Like, okay, it's been too much dominance now. He's not going to win. So, I'm getting the Reigns. And he's actually going to probably win this one clean.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Absolutely.
Like, that's what's going to really make it more dominant.
Yep.
I called for Edge to win the Rumble, but I'm not calling for him to win at WrestleMania. It's not necessary with how Roman Reigns has been. This is probably the most interested I have been in the Universal Championship ever since Roman Reigns has had the belt. With Daniel Bryan, they're just throwing him in to make it more interesting. And it is more interesting, definitely. But out of who we have, Daniel Bryan, he had his WrestleMania 30 moment when he won both belts from Orton and Batista. You got Edge, who is on this road, but he's showing heel tendencies. Roman Reigns is just too valuable right now to lose at WrestleMania against either one of those two.
Facts. Big facts. Last but not least, I'll definitely say this one for last.
Why'd you say this one for last?
Of course I was going to say this one for last.
Go ahead, man.
The Fiend versus Randy Orton. This better be the main event.
It's not going to be the main event.
I don't care. It better be.
It will not.
Yeah, it's going to be that triple threat.
But look here and listen. Look at the camera. Yeah, all y'all. People that be down Randy Orton. Yeah, Wrestlemania, talking to you. We love wrestling. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to all y'all. Randy Orton is going to win at WrestleMania. He's going to put the Fiend to rest and end this nonsense once and for all.
No. No, that's not what's going to happen.
And we're just going to get regular Bray Wyatt back again. Everything's going to be fine, hunky-dory, dandy, and all that stuff. But Randy Orton will finally end The Fiend on Sunday.
Randy Orton's head is going to replace Bray Wyatt's head as the new lantern that he walks down the ring with.
Why
That's
is
what's
that
going to happen.
Why
That's what's going to happen.
dark?
Out of nowhere. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, that's how that's going to end. All right, the Fiend got it. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Randy
Just like
Orton.
It's like that.
Randy Orton already had his shine when
What that mean?
he cooked Bray Wyatt. Okay,
But
when
he
set
been
him.
getting embarrassed and this and that and everything for like the past week.
That's true, but he hasn't had an actual match with the Fiend yet. That's going to be different. Randy Orton can take a loss. You mean to tell me that after all this build-up, Bray Wyatt, he came back from being burned and fired and brimstone, whatever you mean, that he comes back in WrestleMania and lose? That's not a build-up that they're looking for Bray Wyatt. I don't feel. Randy Orton, he can take the pin and he'll still be fine. He'll be great. He's
Especially
always
with all
going
the
to be great.
psychological things that go on within this match.
And
you
then
know?
once the Fiend wins, it shows that all that psychological work, it works. That's what Undertaker's been doing for years. All that psychological work, and then at the end, he comes out.
So
No, I'm not comparing them. I'm just saying, like, it's the method. The method works. The method works. The Fiend, it works out for the Fiend, okay, at the end of the day.
I see it, but at the same time, how long are you supposed to have a dominant wrestler in the business? For how long? Because obviously when Bray Wyatt turned to the Fiend, it seemed like he could never lose.
Right.
And I hate when they do that too.
He did lose.
Yeah, he eventually lost.
To Goldberg. Exactly. That's a whole different situation.
We're not going to bring that up on this show.
Yeah, but like the thing, like when they make a wrestler like that and they can't lose to no other wrestler, I hate when they do that. You know, it's Seth Rollins couldn't beat him. You know, Edge couldn't. I mean, wait, not Edge. I'm tripping.
Who are you talking about?
I don't know why I said Edge.
Daniel Bryan, I think he went up
Daniel
against
Bryan
him.
went one. That one. And okay, y'all gonna have this dominant wrestler who gets knocked down and stands right back up, you know, just because he. Like, how do you end him?
I mean, but I get
Besides
that.
Goldberg hitting him with a spear, like, how do you end him?
Right, that's what you said. I get that, but that eerie feel is kind of already gone because Goldberg took him out so quickly. So we all know he can be beaten. And then Goldberg lost to Braun Strowman, who's now playing fiddle with Shane McMahon. So at the end of the day, Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, he can lose. He can clearly lose. I'm just saying this Sunday, it makes sense for him to win because of the build. It makes sense.
Randy Orton taking this one to the W. I don't care what y'all say.
Bedlam, we love wrestling. Any other naysayers? That's Cinco speaking for himself. We're going with the Fiend.
Yes, anytime you see somebody talking about Randy Orton on Twitter page, that's me.
Definitely Cinco.
That's me.
Shout out to Randy Orton if you're listening, though. But
shout out happy birthday, first of all. Yeah.
But
and
for this Sunday.
Shout out to the Slither Cloverline too. I love the shirts. Shout out to Kim Morton. Yeah,
slithering into those fabrics.
Just because you can't fit them.
Nice.
Silly goat.
Nice.
Keep the hat. Yeah. But with that, with all that being said, that's all the time we have for today. Like I said, be sure to follow us on all social media platforms, KTR_podcast, Twitter, Instagram, No Rose Podcast, Facebook, YouTube, No The Rose Podcast, all podcast platforms, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Podbean. We are on everything. This is episode 23, the Jordan episode. Or you can say LeBron episode if you like him, but I still say Jordan better. Yeah, this is the Jordan episode, y'all. Episode 23. We are live and direct. Shout out to Shock City Studios, and we are out.
What should they do, Big Harv?
Pump those numbers.
And buy our merch.
There you go.
Buy them shirts, baby.
Yeah, numbers, letters, all symbols of man-made devices that could cripple us all. Improve we can panicking when storm hits and knocks out the power grid. Are you fully prepared to live off the grid? How you think